The secret to doing this is that you click around until you see this box that's going on here, and then you go down here and you bring that box up so that it aligns with the graph on top. Now, I haven't quite made that yet, in the sense that I want to move this a little bit to the left so that my 200 to 0 horizontal input axis is exactly the same length on my top graph and on my bottom graph. I've done it, except to say that some labels would be nice. So let's add some labels here. Let's go back. Since I lost my label here, we can add that again. Assuming I can spell right, we can add that. I suppose we could get fancy and say copy, then go down here and say paste, but you might end up with your nitrogen in a funny place, but you can easily move it down here where you want it. We actually want that up here, don't we? Alright, looking pretty good. We could put in corn the same way we did the other time, but let's wander around here and introduce a text box that says, let's move that down. You'll get adept at moving. Whoop, we moved the wrong thing there. Let's try that one more time. Insert text box, blink. I'll line them up when I get done, huh? What do we want to label this red curve as? MPP. Okay. Insert text box again, and that becomes APP. Alright, and we can actually, while we're still in the box here, we can actually move this thing around a little bit if we want. We don't want to. That's the problem with this all the time, is that you end up, there we go. That's an interesting way of doing it. You just expand the box a little bit. Same thing down here. Let's see, if we want to move that over there, we could do this. Pretty nice. Okay, now let's move our nitrogen back down again to where it belongs, and we've got our curves nicely labeled. Now, as a final trick, some of you may realize that the maximum on the function for corn response to nitrogen fertilizer has as its first derivative a value of 0. And so how would we show that? What I would do is I would insert, go to your insert again, and where you see this insert shapes, notice that there are a bunch of lines that can be inserted. Let's hit one of those, and let's eyeball in the maximum of this function, and let's just kind of drag that down here. If we want to hold that perfectly straight, hit the shift key. Okay? Now let's see how close we came here. We did pretty well. What we're showing here, of course, is the maximum for what really is, watch this one, insert, text box, TPP function. That's new because before we'd talked about corn yield or Y, but TPP, let's move this up where it belongs here, and let's just go equals corn yield. In fact, let's get a little wild and crazy here. And let's go down to our APP box, and we'll say APP equals y over x. And then we will scoot down on our sheet. And what do we want to say about MPP? Well, let's do this. MPP equals try it one more time here. If you don't get it right the first time, you try one more time. Equals dy over dx. The nitrogen is actually I hope I can find this here. Let's see. It's giving me a hassle, so what I can do is I can flop right down here and say nitrogen equals X. Alright. Now if I want to pull that up, I probably can. Or not. Let's see what happens when I do that. There we go. I can move that around. Alright. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Got a nice graph there. The maximum of the TPP function corresponds with the zero value for MPP, which is the first derivative of the TPP function, and we have all sorts of fun. At this point, I'm going to stop the video. I think I've demonstrated enough here in terms of the practical application of this, and we can try uploading these to YouTube and see how things turn out.